What's going on, everyone? I'm Dynamic Duos, or Double D. I'm back with another MLB 12 The Show franchise episode. I haven't done one of these in a little while. So in the last franchise episode, we played Game 2 of the Tigers 3-game series. What I decided to do was to forget about the episode or the Game 3, because I didn't really. To be honest, I didn't feel like editing another game of the Tigers, and I didn't really feel like playing another one. So what I did was I decided I'd sim up to the day before the trade deadline, which would be the 30th, and if I got any trade offers, I would start recording and I'd make it live throughout the rest of the season. So what we're going to do now is the Braves have offered us a trade, and it is Jeremy Jeffress and Kevin Kuzminoff for a right fielder named John Glass. Now, I haven't looked at this trade before, so I don't know anything about this John Glass character. And he has A potential. Everything else is kind of bad, but he does have A potential. But to be honest, I'm not willing to give up Jeffries, who has B potential, and Kuzminoff, who is, only has C potential, but I'm not willing to give him up for just that one guy. So we're gonna decline or reject the offer. And we're going to keep simming up to the point of the trade deadline to see if we get any more trade offers. Because I'm done making trades, like, offering trades to other teams. But, if a team offers me a trade, I'll at least take a look at it. And if it's, benefitive to both parties, then I would, definitely look into it. So here we are at the trade deadline. We haven't gotten anything. And, obviously they're giving us little messages here. I'm just going to scroll down and make sure that I've read all the important things. So what we're going to do now is just sim up to the last day of the season. And I'm doing this live, so I would kind of make it, a little bit more. I don't really know. I felt like doing a live commentary. I haven't done one in a while because I really, got the hang of recording stuff and then editing it and then talking over it after I had done editing it. So we're just going through the season now. We're sitting in second place, and I think before the last month of the season, once August is done simming, I'll show you guys the standings real quick to kind of let you guys know where everyone's standing in the division races. But you can already tell, look at the AL East. It is completely lopsided. The New York Yankees are completely dominating the AL East right now. The closest division right now is probably the NL East, because like 3 of the teams keep swapping. Okay, so we'll stop right here. I know I said I'd stop before September, but I kind of lost track there. Our record is 69 and 66. We're 11 games back of the Tigers, who are 80 and 55. So the standings. AL East, the Yankees are 98 and 36. Wow. That's unnatural. That's probably never going to happen. Then you have the Red Sox with the same record as we do, and then you look down, it's not much better from there. I already told you the Central. The AL West, the Angels and the Rangers are separated by a half game. Then the A's and the Mariners are kind of out of it. Wild card. We're 2.5 games out of the wild card. Wow. Maybe we can win that. Sorry, I just hate that thing blinking at me. I can see it out of the corner of my eye, and it just bothers me. Alright. NL East is the Mets, Marlins, and Phillies. These 2 teams right here are separated from the Mets by 1 game, and then the Braves and the Nats are pretty much out of it. Central is controlled by the Brewers, and the Cardinals are 2.5 out, with the Reds 5 out. The Padres surprisingly leading the West. Half game ahead of the Rockies, the Giants, the Diamondbacks, and the Dodgers filling out the rest. The wild card, the Cardinals, Rockies, Reds, and so on. So that's what the standings look like here. And we'll keep simming. It doesn't look like we're going to make the playoffs unless we can beat Texas or Los Angeles Angels, whichever one doesn't finish first in the AL West will normally, or most likely, be looking for the wild card spot. And it sucks that the 2 wild card team rules aren't implicated into this game because they just got created. this past offseason. So we were unfortunate to not make the playoffs. We were 81-81, which equals a 500% winning percentage. So we received $4 million from our primary advertising contract with the radio station. So we're just simming the playoffs. Sim. And with no surprise, the Yankees have defeated the Cardinals in the 2012 World Series. So I didn't really, expect anything different. The Yankees had an outrageous record throughout the season. And again, this stupid thing wants to blink at me. You would think I'm OCD about it, but it's whatever. So we finished our first season with the Kansas City Royals. We've made some decent progress. We finished second in the division, farm director. And the only really big name guy that retired for us is Hideki Matsui, so that does suck. I lose a DH. So I may be looking to sign another one. And what I like to do is I normally scroll down here to the Braves and see if Chipper Jones did retire, and he did. But he went out on an all-star, so you know what? Who cares? So I'm going to go ahead and sign a farm director. Charlie Manuel for my farm director. That's funny. John Farrell, the Blue Jays manager. Gardner. I'm just going to get one of these guys down here. Sure, this guy's fine. Let's go 3 years, about that much. Alright, we'll see how that works. And now we get to sign some players back. So our only all-star was Eric Hosmer, so I'm going to try and lock him up for about 5 or 6 years. There you see our available budget is $58 million, $388,334, so we should be able to do something with it. I also want to try and lock up Alex Gordon, so that looks good. I'm only going to offer arbitration to Joakim Soria, because I have some up-and-coming relievers who could fill the role of closer. And I want to try and lock these guys up. You see, I'm trying to lock up on my young guys, especially the guys with A to B potential. And I'm going to offer arbitration to Broxton also, because once again, I have multiple guys who could fill the closer role and the setup role, including this guy, who I'm actually going to make an offer, if I could get it, for 2 years, for about that much. Danny Duffy, I'm going to try and lock him up for about 4 years, because he's another one of those guys with A potential. Greg Holland had a pretty good season. I'm only going to go 2 years with him with a club option, just in case something happens. I'm only going to offer Alcides Escobar a 1-year deal, because I've experienced over the past season that he is not a very productive player anymore. At least, unless he had an off season, which, I could see happening. He didn't really produce very well for me, so I'm only going to sign him to a 1-year deal. Here's one of the guys that I believe could take over the closer role at one point. Just trying to lock these guys up, just make sure I don't have to try to sign any of them back, in the long run. And we're going to have some money to do some things, in the upcoming free agency, so I'm looking forward to the free agency, and I'm going to go through it with you guys in this episode also, so you guys get a nice little long video. Well, I'm going to try to, not make it as long as I would like to make it to show you everything, but we're going to go through the free agency, and I'm going to show you who I offer contracts to. And then since the off season is easy to sim through, we're just going to sim through it and see what we pick up. I actually want to sign Bernardino back just for a 1-year deal. We can let Betancourt go. Well, actually, no. Let's just offer him arbitration to see if he can come back and potentially take over the role of starting catcher. I mean, not starting catcher, but shortstop. Giavitelli, I want to lock up for about 3 years. Claudia Santiago. Let's check his potential. D, we'll pass. Because I was going to say we could sign him back to potentially come up and take over the shortstop. I just lost my train of thought. Wait, before I sign this guy. D potential, pass. Okay, we're gonna go to the unsigned. We're just gonna, start going over here to see if there's anybody that I want to sign back. And since these guys don't cost much money down here, I'm just going to offer them the contract that is suggested. Mainly because I don't want to spend too much money on, people that I don't need. So I'm just basically going through looking at potential of people. If they have good potential, I'll sign them back to whatever contract pops up. And we'll go from there. C, D, D. I at least need one more first baseman on our roster. I think we're good at second base, to be honest. We have 3 really good, solid players at second base. I may be looking for another third baseman, potentially. I don't know yet. Sorry if I'm not, talking a lot, but doing this live is, kind of difficult to just kind of stay on track because you're thinking a lot. Because I'm sitting here, thinking like, well, if I sign this guy, then I can sign the other guy. But if I don't sign this guy, then I gotta go sign somebody else. So I'm really just, just analyzing things in my head, which may confuse some people, but I am deeply sorry. So there we go. We've signed up all of our current players that are, available to be free agents. So we should be getting people signed back. We already got Hochaver, so that's good. Alex Gordon is locked up. Moustakas is locked up. Giovatelli's also locked up. Aviles. Haven't seen Hosmer yet. We got Kane back. Haven't seen Hosmer. Got Duffy. Okay, so we didn't get Hosmer signed yet, but he should be. Look at how many freaking Kansas City Royals are up here. 3, 4. It's crazy. Okay, so what I'm going to do really fast before we start signing people is I'm going to go through and I'm going to show you, or at least, just go through my roster real quick and show you if I need anybody, or, just, figure out if I need anyone else. I think we're pretty good. I think we're pretty good at starting pitching. The bullpen could use a veteran, so I may be looking for that. We're going to get Soria back, hopefully. We're good at closer. Could potentially get a backup. Holy cow, look at his numbers. Oh wait, no, those are his career numbers. Okay, never mind. But he still hit 303 with 24 home runs and 80 RBIs. That's a great season out of him. We're good. We're definitely good at second base. I could use another shortstop. We're good. We're good. So basically, we're just gonna look for some role players to be, impacting our team this year. I'm looking for a veteran, not too old, but kind of, experienced. John Graybo wouldn't be bad, or J.C. Romero, because they're 2 lefties that could help our team out. Because we have an abundance of right-handed pitching out of the bullpen, but we have hardly any lefties. So I'm going to sign J.C. Romero to a 1-year deal worth $580,000, and depending on whether we sign him or not, I may come back and sign Graybo. And you see the abundance of closers that are out there. Yeah, don't need a catcher. First baseman. See, here I could look for a DH. David Ortiz would be the perfect DH for me, but I don't want to spend the money to try to sign him. I'm looking for a cheap guy that I can get that will still produce. And there's really nobody that kind of jumps out. Connor Jackson is good. So is Nady and Hafner. But how much did Hafner make last year? Does it even say? No, of course it doesn't, because they're not even signed. Huh. Third base. We don't really need a third baseman because we're pretty good there. Shortstop. Do we need a shortstop? I don't even think we need a shortstop. We could just kind of sign, a long shot guy to bring into spring training. and I can monitor him. You know who I want to sign? I want to sign Ronnie Cedeno. Because Ronnie Cedeno is a utility player, kind of like a Martin Prado. He can play probably all over the infield, so we'll offer him that. Now here we can look for another DH. Jason Kubel wouldn't be bad to sign, but I don't know if I would just want him being a DH, because he still has, you know, defensive abilities. Eric Hensky. There's nobody really out here. Mags, but he's like 40 or 39. Like, I'm looking for a legit everyday DH, and I'm not seeing one. If I had to take a long shot, I would, you know, decide to sign Jason Kubel, but you know, I don't know if I want to or not, because if I just stick him in DH, he's just going to be sitting in the DH role and not playing in the outfield unless, you know, Francoeur or Gordon needed a day off in the corner spots, and I also could use him as a first baseman if I needed to, because I'm pretty sure he could play first base if I had to. Let's go ahead and try it. Let's sign him for 2 years for about that much and see what happens. Actually, let's do this. Let's go 2 years for the same amount, and then a both option, because, you know, after the 2 years, depending on whether he wants to stay or not, and even, you know, depending on if we trade him or not, hopefully that'll help us get him. So we'll go ahead and sim through the off season. I know this video is probably going to be about 20 minutes long, but I think you guys will enjoy it. So we got Jason Kubel. I do like that. I need to watch out for Eric Hosmer, because if I don't sign Eric Hosmer back, I'm going to be extremely mad. We need to stop, because I've done this before where I sim through a season. Alright, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to offer him a little better deal with both options, see how he likes that one. Alright, we'll see how this goes. Because I've made the mistake before of simming through a franchise and, you know, not seeing a little notification pop up that I, you know, didn't sign a guy or he signed with another team. So Betancourt accepted salary arbitration, which is good. Haven't heard back from Hosmer yet. Gotta check on him. He's the best free agent left, and he's not getting... These two guys haven't signed yet, which I'm not sure why. Alright, so we'll just keep going. Hopefully they'll sign. Rule 5 draft. Let's just go and see what it's about. See who's out here. See if there's anything worth it out here. Okajima. Another left-handed reliever. I could sign Okajima, but I don't know if I want to, you know, give a roster spot to him, because, you know, with Rule 5 draft guys, you have to keep them on your roster, or you release them, or you send them back to their. I think what you can do is, if you draft a player from the Rule 5 draft and you like don't want him anymore, you send them back to the other team that they were originally with before the Rule 5 draft, and either you pay them or they pay you. I don't remember which one or how it goes. He still hasn't signed. I'm getting worried now. So let's just sim about right there. Give him a month or two, or a month and a couple of weeks to see if he wants to sign back. Well, both of them really, because I need both of them. They're, you know, young studs. They're young phenoms. They're going to be my two franchise players eventually, along with Danny Duffy and Alex Gordon, so I need them back. Ronnie Cedeno accepted. JC Romero accepted. So we got 3 of the guys that we wanted to sign as kind of role players, and we still haven't gotten anything from Hosmer or Crow. Unsigned players, and we've all... So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to offer Betancourt a 1-year deal for about that much. And these guys haven't signed. These two are major to our success. I'm not sure why they're not signing. Betancourt accepted the 1-year deal right after we gave it to him. And I'm scared. I'm terrified. Did we even get him? What the heck, man? This is stupid. Like, for real. I'm not interested in being locked into a long contract. Whatever. Okay, so we still get him back. That's good, I guess. Okay. So, I'm not really sure why that happened. Maybe they didn't like the offer that I was offering. But, you know what? It's whatever, because we got him back. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to sign this guy, because I know who he is in real life. I'm just going to sign him to that long, because I want him to come to spring training with me, because I actually like him as a player. Even though it doesn't, you know, show in his overall, or his potential, really. He plays for the Cardinals. He's supposedly going to take over for Pujols now. And, I at least want to take a risk on him. So that's episode 7, I believe, 8, I believe. I don't really know which one. I've actually lost track, to be honest, doing all these, doing the 2 videos about the Tiger series. So thanks for joining in. I know this is a longer video than you're used to seeing from me, but I figured it'd be a good video to do since I haven't done a franchise video in a while. But I am going to be signing out now after this marathon episode of Royals franchise. See you guys later. And be on the lookout for some more 12 The Show videos. I'll see you guys later.